What's up everybody, Greg here with Lens Pro to Go and Lens Rentals, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to read and properly use a Vectorscope. Now, unlike other exposure tools like waveform or histogram, the Vectorscope has nothing to do with exposure. It's all about the colors in an image. So I'm going to give you a quick explanation of what we're looking at, and then I'm going to give you some tips and ways you can use this tool to its fullest. So the Vectorscope corresponds to the color wheel, and in Premiere it's actually really nicely labeled. So you have your red, magenta, blue, cyan, green, and yellow. So if you're seeing any signal spreading out in any direction towards one of those color markers, that means you're going to be having that color in your image. Now, how far away that signal is from the center is how saturated the color is. So if you have it way out towards those boxes, that means that color in your image is very saturated. But besides just showing you the hue and saturation of a color, there's also a couple of other guides in here to help you out. You'll notice that each color has two boxes, a smaller inner one and then a larger outer one. The inner one is your broadcast safe region, and you'll notice that there is a connecting dot between all of the inner boxes. So if you make sure that all of your signal is within that broadcast safe area, that means when you go to broadcast, you're not going to have any color problems. The larger outer box is 100% saturation, and this is for everything else like publishing to the internet. If your saturation is outside of this range, you might have some color problems on export. The last thing that you're going to notice is two intersecting lines going across the Vectorscope. Now the line going up towards the yellow and red colors, that's going to be your skin tone line. And this is where everybody's skin should fall. No matter if it's Caucasian, African American, or Asian, all skin tones will fall on this line. Once you have the skin tone on that line, you can adjust the saturation so it looks correct. Now that's all of the things that you need to know to be able to read a Vectorscope. Let's look at some of the applications and where it can be super helpful. The first one is matching shots. Now, besides exposure, color is the next most important thing to match between shots to get a cohesive feel in your video. Using the Vectorscopes, you can analyze an image that you like, see where the color shift is, how much saturation there is in an image, and then you can go to your second shot and match it using Lumetri or Resolve or something like that to shift all those colors to be the same, so that when you cut between these two shots, they feel like they should go together. Going along with matching shots and colors, using the Vectorscope is a way to perfectly match a brand's color. If you're shooting a product or something that needs to have a specific hue for the brand, what you can do is grab a swatch of that color, drop it over your footage, and then looking at the scopes, you can see where that color lies and where you need to shift that product color to be. To keep other colors from shifting in a weird way, you might have to use the HSL selection tool and select just the color that you want to adjust, so you're moving it individually instead of adjusting the whole overall color of the image. The third thing is that skin tone line. This can be a huge help to make sure that people actually look like people. We see different kinds of skin tones every day and we know what it's supposed to look like. So when we're watching a video and those colors don't match or don't look like a person, that can pull us out and be distracting. So again, let's make sure we're using all of the tools at our disposal to make sure that it looks right. And the last thing is that broadcast safe region. Now we have this with other scopes for brightness like waveform and histogram to make sure that we're not overexposed or underexposed for broadcast. And the Vectorscope allows us to keep our colors consistent and so that we're not having any problems and it's looking exactly how we want it to when we send it out for broadcast. And this is really easy to tweak with a little bit of saturation or desaturation in certain colors. Remember to use this tool alongside your exposure tools to get fantastic results. If you have any questions or comments about anything we've covered in this video, make sure to leave that in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, let everybody else know by hitting that like button, subscribe for new videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one.